liquidity, as I mentioned, was a huge issue for so many companies as well. You are a liquidity protocol. How did the massive plunge in prices last year and the collapses of several companies around you affect your business?
I mean, the Aave protocol itself, it's a decentralized protocol running on Ethereum and multiple blockchains, and one of the key components is that it allows you to supply cryptographic assets and draw liquidity against them. We've definitely seen some additional consumption after things that has been happening in the centralized part of the crypto space, but at the same time, many of the valuations of the assets that are used as a collateral has decreased in value. And obviously that has shrunken the liquidity market. But it definitely is a tool that works in a bear and also bull market.
So
sure.
has the protocol been put to a stress test this year?
Sure.
And how's it come out on the other end?
It's quite fascinating because Aave protocol, among some other blue chip protocols in decentralized finance, has actually stood out quite well. And the reason is that the protocol acts as it's designed. So it relies upon smart contracts, which means once you codify those rules in smart contracts, the liquidation mechanisms, the incentives work exactly the way it's codified. And just to give a comparison, for example, in more centralized crypto finance, you don't have this kind of like execution and visibility. So that has been a positive outcome.
I think a lot of people are looking in at a lot of crypto companies, and after the collapse of FTX, after the collapse of companies like Celsius as well, and wondering, well, actually, if any of these protocols or companies go under, do they have the collateral? And it's not just about centralized finance. This is also around DeFi, things like Terra, USD. You know, this was based on algorithmic stablecoin design. But even that collapsed and didn't have the backing that it said it did. You know, everyone's looking at stablecoins, looking at exchanges. In terms of your own reserves, do you have enough money there to cover customer deposits?
Yeah, in Terra Luna's example is that it was more of the design that was the flaw. So basically the actual implementation of the tech was working, but the economical design didn't work. So in terms of the Aave protocol and many other decentralized protocols, there's actually quite proven designs that are working, and they rely upon over-collateralization, which means that as long as there's over-collateralization in the system, you have a stable coin that is fully backed and the users are trusting for. And in case the collaterals are decreasing, there's built-in liquidation mechanisms that uphold those collaterals, basically reducing the amount of supply of stable coins and reducing that debt balance. So the main thing is that in decentralized finance, you can also see everything that is happening. So you can actually choose what kind of protocols you use and what kind of mechanisms you subscribe. And everything is governed by the communities that in Aave protocol, there is two risk management entities. So there is Gauntlet and Chaos Labs that are actually paid by the community, the so-called DAO, to operate and manage those risk conditions.